Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. Part 2 gang, y'all. Let's get like, share, subscribe to y'all. Let's get turn this video up, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that jump was crazy, man. We in pro sale breaking. We got the work, man. We breaking down, y'all. You hear me? That's my word, man. I'm like, man, this is crazy, man. Like, I started feeling like bro was running plays and pinching the la-la or something, man. He got me running to the door. This his sale. He got dudes knocking on the door. Hey, Cam. Everybody knocking on the door sound angry, like they trying to figure out what's going on. We got the cut up. Why is people knocking on his door, man? That's what I don't understand. He talking about, I owe those dudes, Weezy. I'm like, you owe those dudes? Bro, what you mean you owe those dudes? I said, bro, you just moved in the pod. I already know the count. My man done told me he a reckless poker player. I'm like, yo, bro, how you? He was like, man, poker debt, man. I lost, man. You know what I mean? I owe a couple dudes. I said, bro, listen, man, rule number 1, don't ever tell dudes you gonna pay them by getting the package, bro, because that's how they gonna know what's going on. They gonna figure your play out. And next thing you know, it ain't gonna be no play, bro. I said, how many people know you mess with Miss M, bro? He was like, a lot of people don't know, bro. You know what I mean? I said, bro, listen, bro. Stop telling people your business, bro. As he say that, hey, Cam, how long you gonna be? I'm like, yo, bro, I'm gone, bro. He was like, what we gonna do with the joint? I said, bro, look, bro. Open the joint up real fast. I was like, look. I three-way that joint nice, y'all. I was like, that's you, bro. I took the big, gave him the little. I took the big pause, you know what I mean? I was like, bro, come on, bro. I grabbed a piece of paper. I was like, out of here, bro. You know what I mean? I dipped out. Before I dipped out my pod, I see my homeboy. I was like, yo. I was like, what's up, bro? He was like, what's up? I was like, yo, bro, you was right, man. He was like, what? I said, man, people keep knocking on this dude's door. Now, this dude didn't even have a good sale. This man was on the bottom tier on the third sale to the right. You know what I mean? On the right side. So, like, that was like, I mean, it's Lawrenceville, but at the same time, though, like, the bottom tier is, like, kind of reckless a little bit to me. I don't like the bottom tier, but he had people knocking on his door. I had to skedaddle, man. So, me and Troy got about that joint. You know what I mean? But it was true what my man said, though, that this man had a crazy debt. So me and Troy went back to the pod, man. Troy went in the cell. I went in my cell. We both threw the cuts up on 1,000, and we was in there bagging up, man. Y'all already know the count, man. I went in that joint, and I bagged up what I had in that paper. I didn't even touch my zip yet, man. I'm bagging up what's in that paper. As I'm bagging up what's in that paper, I'm like, yo, like one more of these, I won't care what they do, man. Like, for real, though, man. Like I just be wanting, like, a decent run. Like, a run, it'd be beautiful. You get 3-4 plays or better. But 2 runs, bro, like, you can figure it out after that, man. You can figure it play out after that. Like, you don't have to always have, like, a super duper long run. So I'm like, one more of these will be straight. Like, I got a whole zip I ain't even touch yet, y'all. This is the mid. This isn't the loud pack, y'all. So I'm like, man, I'm bagging up. Like, these spoons right, you know what I mean? Everything looking good. So I come out. When I come out, I start hustling. I ain't even gonna lie. I start pumping that jump. I told people, I said, yo, look, I got Feezy spoons or whatever you want, bro. Let me know. I already know competition in the other pods, so I gotta move like this. I'm like, yo, tell people I got whatever they want, bro. I got whatever they want, man. How much you trying to spend? I got whatever you want, man. Long as you ain't trying to spend zero, I got whatever you want, man. I spreaded the word to everybody, man. I looked up. Troy was doing the same thing. Troy had his celly already pumping the Feezy game. So, like, it was just a free for all of who could sell because it was all over the place, man. We had 3-4 ounces rolling around. You know what I mean? So it's like, it ain't super crowded, but like, it ain't about so much Feezies some people can buy. But at the end of the day, though, we out there doing our thing. That's what we doing, man. So we did our thing like that whole day. You know what I mean? Me and bro ducked off. We hit the la-la to test it out. The jump turned out to be jive solid, to be buying in on the la-la without getting our la-la from Norfolk. Like, that jump was all right. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, it didn't look all that pretty. It didn't look super pretty. It was kind of dark, and you know what I mean? It didn't have like no bright hairs in it or nothing like that, but it turned out to be enough to get freaking lit off, man. And that's what it was all about at the end of the day, man. So I had a good buzz after we messed with it. We messed with it. We like, yo, we lit. You know what I mean? So we feeling good. So we chill for the rest of the day. Me and bro didn't even go to dinner. So we ain't hear nothing from Cam. You know what I mean? I had sent my man something over there at 31 when I went to the door. And I had sent my man something over there. All I seen was Cam back. He was at the poker table. You know what I mean? He was at the poker table. So I'm saying to myself, like, man, like he ain't, you know what I mean? Like, bro, bro ain't waste no time. Bro at the poker table already, y'all. So boom. Usually people that got habits like that, though, man, like they just don't really care, y'all. Like they just really feel like, you know what? I'm gonna gamble because I got the backup of the la, and that's how I'm gonna pay or whatever the case. So I waited a little bit, man, and I went back to the door. You know what I mean? This was like right before. This probably like while we having our night wreck, like 9 o'clock. I go back to the door. I call my man to the door. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, hey, look. See if the white dude over there trying to buy these spoons, bro. I said, tell him I got 12 spoons for 100. You usually get 8 or 10. I was like, tell him I got 12 for 100, bro. So my man went to go ask him. So my man bring him back to the door. When he come back to the door, I'm like, yo, what's good? He like, I'm good. I'm like, you good? I was like, what you holler at? You holler at Cam? He was like, nah. I was like, who you hollering at? He was like, my celly. I was like, who your celly? He was like, he pointed at the dude that was in the park. I'm like, who the fuck? I was like, you got the same thing Cam got? He was like, yeah. He was looking super lit. I'm like, man, this junk crazy. I hit the button. I was like, look, let me go holler at my man right quick. She was like, all right, hurry up, white. She let me out. I slid out. I go to 31 slide. I'm like, yo, bro. I was like, who all got Lala over there? He was like, man, the dude from Richmond, the red team member dude, and the white dude sell it right there. I'm like, all of them got Lala? He was like, bro, all of them at least had about a quarter too, bro. I said, man, get out of here, bro. He said, yeah, bro. I ain't joking, bro. He said, because they got a lot of Lala, bro. They partying. I'm like, man, this junk crazy. So bro done gave up massive Lala. So I'm like, man, so the white dude straight, that's crazy. So I'm like, all right, bro. So I go back to the pod. I called Troy. I said, yo, what's up with your man? I said, Cam. They said, Cam, I got rid of his whole pack almost, bro. My man said, Cam, that pay. Like, it says 3 dudes over there that got the Lala, bro. He was like, 3 dudes. I'm like, yeah, bro. It's like 3 dudes over there. They got the Lala, bro. He was like, man, I mean, he might have owed them dudes that was knocking on the door. I mean, as long as he paid all right. I'm like, I guess, bro, but like, that's not really a good habit from somebody we think gonna bring the pack in the future, y'all. So boom. You know what I mean? I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, yo, bro, he got with Miss M? He was like, I don't know, you know, she work in the morning, so da-da-da-da. I'm like, that junk crazy, man. So we was a wrap. We had to lay it down for the rest of the night. We lay it down for the rest of the night. I get up for breakfast on purpose because I know Cam going to breakfast. You know what I mean? He's definitely going to breakfast, and I know Troy gonna go to breakfast too. So me and him gonna go together and meet up with Cam. So I'm like, let's go. So I get up like early, knowing that that's what we're going for. I need to go see what's going on. So we go to breakfast, man. This word, I see my man. I'm like, yo, what the dude Troy at? I'm like, yo, what the dude Cam at? He like, yo, he coming. So he looked up. He was scraggling. He was one of the last ones coming in the chow. So he seen us. He came and sat with us. So it's me, Troy, and my man that's in his pod at the table already. It's 3 people. So it's one table, one seat open. So he come over there. We was there. He sit down. So he sit down, man. When I tell y'all, he has the pitiful face. He has the pitiful face. You know what face I have? I have the wake and bake face. I am fried right now, y'all. Like real talk. Like I look like this probably. What? I don't even want to show y'all how I look. Man, that's where I was smacked. I was smacked, man. That was word, man. I woke up. My celly didn't even mess with the Lala. I woke up as soon as they counted. As soon as they count, we go to breakfast like an hour later. As soon as they counted, I woke up and rolled up like 5:30 in the morning. Dolo took a jump to the head game. You hear me? I went to the face with that jump, y'all. So boom. So I'm sitting at the table lit with stale pancakes in front of me, man, that I don't even want. Stale pancakes, man. When my bro sat down, he had the stupid look. He looking dumb in the face. Like, yo, what's up, bro? He like, y'all lit too. I'm like, yeah, we lit. He like, yeah, though, man, I had a bad night at the poker table, man. You know what I mean? Poker table wasn't working for me, man. So, you know, I had a bad night, basically, man. I'm like, yo, you had a bad night. I said, so look, I said, bro, you got some more Lala? He was like, why you ask me that? I'm like, bro, I'm just asking, bro, you got some more Lala, bro? Troy was like, you got some more? He was like, look, man, matter of fact, look, I need a loan. I was like, you need a loan? That junk sounded like, Like he was, bro, you're not even speaking language, English language. You're speaking doggy language. You need a loan. I told you that junk sounded like, you need a what? You need a what? Say it one more time. That's what I said. He was like, he ate his farina. That junk was dripping off the spoon. Pause. That junk ain't got no hang time, no grip. That junk just freaking like water on a plate. He was like, I need a loan. Like, you need a loan. How you need a loan, bro? You just had a zipping up some change, bro. How you need a loan? He like, man, I had old dude, man. I had old 3 dudes a quarter. I said, bro, hold on, time out. I did the Phil Jackson jump. Time out, man. Time out, man. How you owe 3 dudes a quarter, bro? I said, that's almost half of the zip. Majority of the zip. He was like, bro, I lost, bro. I had all 3 of them $100. Volunteered to give them a quarter, bro. That's more than $100, bro. He was like, no, but at the time I ain't had the money, then that's I had to make it enticing. I'm like, bro, you wilding on that poker table, bro. You like, yeah, so look, bro, I'm trying to win my money back, man. So look, can each of y'all loan me 12 spoons a piece? I'm like, what? 12 spoons a piece? I'm like, yo, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Know that this dude is the route. I know everything, you know what I mean? But 12 spoons was asinine, y'all. So boom, 12 spoons? I said, bro, Troy was like, man, I got you, man. I was like, I sat back in the chair like, shh, bro, I don't know about the 12 spoons. But I don't know about the 12. Y'all know I love the la-la, man. I don't know about no 12 spoons, man. 12 ball. That man don't ask us, can he borrow $100, man? But he is the route. He do have Miss M, and right now Miss M is working, man. So I'm thinking about another play. That's what I'm thinking about, man. I'm thinking like we can make this happen, man. So I said, bro, listen, bro. I'm gonna give you 12 spoons. Cause I didn't really do nothing like that. I ain't even gonna lie. I said, bro, I'm gonna give you 12 spoons, bro. I said, but bro, listen, when we go again, I need my 12 spoons back. He was like, he looked at me like, I read his brain. His brain was like, Weezy already predicting the future. Yes, I'm already predicting the future, but I know how to play these little mind games when it comes to these psychos, y'all. Even though I be lit off the la-la, I still have valid questions. So look, bro, when we go next time, you got to pay me back, right? He was like, yeah, you know I'm going to give it back to y'all. Y'all know it. Troy was like, you going to give it back? He was like, yeah, I'm going to give it back. I'm going to give it back. I was like, all right, bro, look, bro, catch us at lunch, bro. He was like, all right. So we dipped from breakfast, went back. I went back to sleep. You know what I mean? I was like, I came here to hear this bad news. Don't sound like a freaking psycho information, man. This man just asked to borrow 12 spoons a piece. This man want 24 spoons. Let's do the psychopath. So I wake up a little later. It's lunchtime. You know what I mean? So we don't stand by for lunch. I made sure I went and got out, bro, 20 little 12 spoons, got those right for him, wrapped it up real nice. And I looked at Troy. Troy was like, he had his joint ready too. So I was like, all right, that's a bet. So we go to the chow hall and meet this dude. You know what I mean? When we meet this dude, he looked happy as a man that's freaking just won the lottery yesterday, man. That's how happy he looked when he seen us finally coming at chow hall, man. We gave that man them 12 spoons, man. That man ran back to the pod. He didn't even eat his tray. It was the 2 fish fillet joints. That man left the joint. I was like, yo, bro, you don't want your tray? He was like, no, I'm good. I'm going back to gamble. I'm like, shh. I looked at Troy. I was like, bro, we got a gambler on our hands, y'all. So boom, this man go back to gamble. He continues gambling, man. When he was gambling, I ain't even gonna lie. This man comes straight back. Y'all think I'm joking. This man came right back and called Troy to the door. I hear him and Troy at the door arguing. I'm like, because you know they between the door, but I hear how Troy like, you gotta talk. Like you'll be thinking you talking low if you trying to scream through the crack of the door, but you might be loud on the low. So I hear Troy like, man, no, bro, that ain't right, bro. What you doing, bro? I hear that. So I'm like, I come down the steps. I'm like, yo, what's going on, bro? I look, it's Cam on the other side of the door. He like, Cam got a face like, I'm like, what's up? He like, man, this man has asked me, can he borrow another 12 spoons? I'm like, another 12 spoons? He was like, watch out. Hey, Weezy, hey, look, man, I ain't worried about him. Hey, Weezy, throw me another 12 spoons so I can get back in this game. I'm like, bro, another 12 spoons? He was like, yeah. I said, bro, listen, bro, you wildin', bro. Listen, man. He was like, you got it? I said, bro, listen, you wildin', bro. You wildin', man. You going too far now. He was like, what you mean y'all got it? I said, bro, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I said, I don't have another 12 spoons, bro. I ain't even make no money yet, bro. What you mean, bro? I ain't even make no bread, bro. He was like, so y'all just going to leave me out back? I said, bro, listen, it ain't about leaving you out back, bro. I said, just like you told us outside, this is business, bro. I can't do it right now, bro. He was like, all right. He stormed back in his pod. So me and Troy walked away like, yo, Troy, what's up with your man? What's up with your man, Troy, man? What's going on with this dude, man? He was like, man, I don't know, bro. He was like, man, but he out of control, Weezer, man. Like, what's his problem, bro? You know what I mean? This man losing, like, he ain't doing nothing but losing. What is he getting the pack for? I'm like, bro, I don't know, bro. I'm like, yo, this is your homeboy, though, man. I said, he got this lady breaking her neck to bring the la-la in. And this man ain't doing nothing, bro. He was like, man, I guess she just happy that she get the money up front and she ain't worrying about nothing. No. I said, but you still supposed to throw her another 500, bro. That'll just go in and get the next play out of the way. I said, just common sense, bro. That's how you do business. He was like, no, Weezy, man. He was like, but I ain't getting them 12 spoons either. I ain't getting them 12 spoons either. He was like, all right, that's a bet then. So me and bro continue on with our life. You hear me? Bro, continue on my life. When he said that, I went straight upstairs. I put some oil on my lamp and I rolled a feezy, man. I got lit, y'all. So boom. I try to forget about that nightmare meeting, man. Another 12 spoons, bro. You owe me $200? No, I won't feeling that, y'all. Call me crazy or I should have cooperated. I don't know. Y'all can tell me in the comments, but I wasn't feeling that. So I chilled for a little bit. A couple days went by. So I'll say a couple days go by. So now it's like getting close again to the weekend, which the weekend wasn't what we was expecting to pack, but it's just getting close to the weekend. So we haven't really even talked to bro in like 2-3 days. Like we haven't even been around him. Like we wasn't on it like, you know what I mean? Like it was like that. We just was on it like, yo, if bro mad at us, he'll cool off, then we'll get back. It's time for business. So crazy though, because I looked up and I seen Troy talking to some other dudes. So when I seen Troy talking to some dudes, I was like, yo, what's up? You good, bro? Like it wasn't no heated conversation, but it was some people I didn't really see him recognize to talk to. One of the dudes was the white dude selling. So I'm like, what's up, bro? You good? In the middle of the conversation, he was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna holler at you, Weezy. So after he talked to them, he dip off. He come back, holler at me. You know what I mean? He was like, hey, bro, look, you ain't gonna believe this, bro. I was like, what? He was like, man, Cam done kicked us out the car, bro. I said, what? He said, yeah, he done kicked us out. I said, bro, he kicked us out the car knowing that, you know what I mean, that he owe us and everything, bro. Like, are you serious, bro? He was like, yeah, bro. I said, how you know he kicked us out the car? He said, because the dude right there from Richmond told me, man, that, you know what I mean, he the one that's going to be, you know what I mean, getting with him. He the one going to pay the $500 and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, for real, bro? He kicked us out the car like that? He was like, yeah. So I was like, let's go holler at her then. Tell him we need to holler at her. Tell him to come outside and we'll hear it with his own mouth. You know what I mean? So we send the word for him to come outside. I promise you, we get outside, y'all. We get to talking to him. We like, yo, what's up, man? He looking all stupid in the face. We like, yo, what's up, bro? You got something you want to tell us? He was like, what? He was like, bro, you done found new partners? That's what you did? He was like, y'all the one acting cheap. Y'all the one acting cheap. So, you know, I had to move on. Y'all want to act cheap? I said, bro, so you kicked us out of the car because we didn't want you to owe both of us $200. That's why, bro. You know what I mean? I said, that's why you did that, bro. I said, if you did that, that's lame, though, Cam. I ain't even gonna lie, that's lame. He was like, what's lame is y'all left me on stuck. I said, all right, well, look, though, since you kick us out the car and since you trying to, you know what I mean, be tight with the la-la and you gonna carry it like that, bro, just make sure you give me back my 12 spoons, bro. Real talk, bro. And I don't want to have to come looking for it, bro. He was like, I pay my debts. I said, oh, yeah, I know you pay your debts. You give up quarters for the debt, y'all. So boom. And I just walked away on him, man. I was like, man, I ain't tripping, man. It's all good, Troy. We walked away. Troy was like, man, that's wild. That man kicked us out the car like that. That man kicked us out the car like that, man. So as we saying that, you know what I mean? It was crazy because Miss M was right there. So I don't know if she heard what we was talking about, but as we was about to go back in the building, she called Troy by his last name. So when we heard him, Troy looked back, went back. He was like, yes, he said something to her. He started talking. I went in the pod. He come back in the pod. He was like, hey, look, this M trying to pick me, bro. I said, what you mean trying to pick you? He was like, man, she just was asking me who I was saying owe us and this and that, this and that. I was like, bro, I just spun her. I was like, yeah, bro, don't tell her nothing. Don't tell her nothing. She can't know none of this business, bro. I said, don't tell her none of this business, bro. I said, but her boyfriend is a lame. I was like, this man ain't making no money. This man kicked some good dudes out the car. You know what I mean? Like, what's his problem, bro? I was like, man, he a lame at the end of the day, man. So I ain't got time for it, man. He was like, bro, listen, man, I don't know what's going on, Weezy. I ain't tripping on that junk, bro. We made our little money. I still got a little la-la. I ain't tripping, bro. I ain't tripping either, bro. We just got to see how the junk play out. So I guess it was around the time my bro was about to strike again. And the only reason I knew that is because I went over to 31 Pod 229 and I went over there to hit the wine with my homeboy. So I'm over there messing with the wine with my homeboy. So while I'm over that jump, I don't know where that happened, man. I don't know where that happened, but all I seen was Cam was like, man, come on, man. Hey, come on, man. Look, man, it ain't like that, man. So I'm looking because me and my man had just came downstairs. We was drinking the whole time, but I'm about to dip in a minute. But we came downstairs for he can heat up his bowl pizza. And he was just standing with me by the door. So as I'm standing by the door to leave, all I hear is Cam like, hey, man, come on, man. Hey, come on, man. What you doing, man? I look. My homeboy was like, shh, there you go. I was like, what? He said, man, they've been freaking beating his brains in a poker table all month, bro, since he been here, bro. I was like, shh. I was like, bro, I ain't dealing with him no more, bro. I said, bro, that man kicked us out the car. He was like, for real? I was like, yeah. So as he's saying, come on, man, you know what I mean? I finally seen the dude who he was talking to. He was talking to a dude that was on the red team, kind of tall dude, little size to him and everything. So the dude from the red team, like, bro, listen, bro, you get your TV back, bro. You can get your TV back, bro, when you get the rest of the la-la, bro. You know what I mean? When you get the rest of the la-la, you get your TV back. He was like, oh, it's like that, man. Now everybody want to carry me, man. He walked back to the front. So we was standing there a little bit. Then he saw me in the party. He was like, he had a super embarrassed. He was like, oh, what's up, Weezy? What's up, Weezy? I was like, what's up? You all right? He was like, yeah, I'm all right, man. He was like, he came closer. He was like, man, Miss M brought half of the package, bro. She brought half of the package, bro. I was like, all right, well, look, where my 12 spoons at, bro? You know what I mean? He was like, here, and get us to Troy. So I looked. I was like, what's this? He was like, it's 8 spoons a piece. I was like, bro, no, bro. Give me my 12 spoons, bro. I said, you ain't gonna tell me you struck the tie. I heard the dude screaming on your dumb ass, bro. I said, give me my 12 spoons. He was like, man, Weezy, look, man, I need to holler. I was like, holler at me for what, man? He was like, I need to holler at you, man. I'm like, all right, man. So we go upstairs to my man's cell. We get in my man's cell. I'm like, what's up? He like, hey, look, man. Dudes I let in the car, man. Nigga took the whole pack, Weezy, man. He was like, look, tell Troy, I need him, bro. Tell him I say, man, I made the wrong. Tell him I said I made the wrong choice, bro. You know what I mean? I had just old people, Weezy, man. Look, though, bro, I'm trying to get these dudes above my neck, though. I'm like, yo, bro, listen, bro. First of all, let me tell you one thing. He was like, what? I said, bro, I can't get nobody off your damn neck, bro, unless you got some lala. I said, you got some lala? I felt like Roscoe when Roscoe be at the door of mine. He was like, you got some money? That's why I hit him where I was like, bro, listen, I ain't getting nobody off you, bro, unless you got some lala. I said, you got some lala? He was like, you know I ain't got no lala. I said, bro, you kicked us out the car, bro. You ain't got no lala. We ain't got no conversation. I said, come on, bro. Get out my man's cell, bro. He was like, man, come on, Weezy, man. I was like, no, come on, bro. Come on, bro. He was like, man, where Troy at? So he dipped down the steps before me. So the lady let me out. The slide opened up. This man shoot out. She called him and everything. Get back in his pod. He run straight to my door. So she opened my door. He said, yo, Troy. Hey, Troy. So Troy come down the steps. Troy like, what's up? He like, I need to holler at you, man. So Troy at the door. Walk in. I'm like, yo, Troy, don't listen to him, bro. I said, man, this man, them people that bucked on this whole pack over there, bro. Now he need us for backup, bro. I said, don't go for it, bro. He was like, hey, look, man. Hey, look, man. I can hear him screaming it through the door. Hey, bro, come on, bro. Hey, look, man, the dude such and such, man, took the whole junk, bro. Hey, bro, you help me get it back, bro. I'll gap it with you, bro. Look, bro, I made the wrong choice, bro. I made the wrong choice, bro. He was sounding super stupid. I made the wrong choice, bro. I'm like, shh. I said, bro, listen, bro. If you go for that, you an idiot, bro. Troy was like, man, look, man. We ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. We ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. Listen, man, go deal with them dudes that took your pack, bro. I ain't finna come fight for you, bro. You kicked us out the car, bro. You kicked us out the car, bro, because we went and loaned you money. He was like, man, I messed up, Weezy. He was like, man, I messed up, Troy, man. I can see Weezy, bro. You gonna leave me out back. You ain't never left me out back. This word, Troy was like, bro, you left me out back when you kicked me out the car. He was like, man, that man just stormed away from the door, went back to his pod. That man go back in his pod. I don't know what happened after that. All I know is everybody was like, yo, the police is coming in our building. You know what I mean? And when the police come in the building, they coming in somebody pod deep, man. Them people went straight in 31 pod. They went right in 31 pod, man. And when they left out of that joint, man, they left out with 2 red team members. And then they left out with Cam. And I was looking, and I was like, damn, I couldn't really see how Cam face that look because he was like, he was walking with his back to me going to medical before I could see out my window. So I couldn't really see what was going on. So they locked up 2 red team members in Cam. So when they finally let us out for rec, I had seen my man. I'm like, yo, what the hell happened over there, bro? He was like, man, listen, bro. He was like, man, them niggas took everything from that nigga ass, bro. He was like, man, them niggas took his TV. They took every fucking thing, bro. He was like, man, he's still on the poker table. And he had old niggas before he had got the pack. And he was like, he didn't even have enough of the pack to give people. I said, bro, that nigga didn't give me. He owed me 4 spoons. I said, that nigga gave me 8 spoons, bro. I was like, but it's all good, though. He was like, bro, listen to me, Weezy, man. When I tell you, man, they fucked him up in there. He was like, man, they whooped his ass. I said, the red team members? He was like, bro, they whooped his ass, Weezy. To listen to me, he said, look at me, Weezy. I look. He was like, they whooped his ass, bro. He said they was kicking him all in his head, bro. He said they beat his ass in the pod. I said, in the pod, bro. He said they whooped him in the pod. I couldn't believe it, man. That's my word, bro. I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. He probably went to medical and healed up probably for like 2 months. And when I seen him again is when I was on the other side of the yard when they sent me back to San Francisco. And when I went and when I seen him, he was in 70 building and I spotted him. He had like this long little scar on his head, like forehead right here, I guess from when he was kicking his ass. And when he seen me, man, that man looked like if he had a knife, he looked like he would have pulled that shit out and tried to poke my damn brains out, man. I'm telling you, man. I looked at him like, and I was about to speak to him. I was about to say, and then he looked at me and was like, his face got balled up like, I was about to say, nigga, you kicked us out the car. The hell is wrong with you, man? Oh, whack ass nigga, man. I ain't pay that nigga no mind over there. You hear me? I let that nigga be, man. But at the same time, though, man, that man kicked us out the car. So we ain't had no saving in our system. You hear me? That man learned this lesson from getting his ass whooped, man. Then you know what happened after that? The same niggas that whooped his ass over there was the same niggas that took Miss M from the nigga, man. We could have moved faster and probably could have got at her, but y'all already know how it go, man. Them niggas took his fucking pack and his broad. And that's how the story ends, y'all. Let's get it. Y'all already know what to do with this La story, man. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But y'all be easy, man. Be safe out there. Stay y'all ass out the way, man.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.